Hey everybody, this is Morbid Person G going live with our special guest. Drum roll please. Colton Fawkes. You are a special guest today. Once you arrive here, we will get this party started, brother. But before we get all this going, I'm gonna go ahead and send invites to all the other Anons so that way they can see this special guest coming in today. We got lots to cover today as well. And hopefully you guys enjoy this segment of what we have together for you. I have lots of questions, and like I said, I will go ahead and tell anybody on here that is interested in going live on the Morbid Talk Show. Please feel free to let me know, and I can arrange that for you. Let's see if we get Colton in here. Alright, Colton. We'll see. Hey, brother. Alright, everybody. I'm going to welcome here our special guest today. Good on. He's been looking forward to going live with me. I see him on a video last night. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Anonymous Parsec on the Morbid Person G's Talk Show, going live with our special guest, Colton Fawkes. Colton Fawkes, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you very much for coming, brother. You are now invited. It takes a little bit sometimes for the person to come in when you invite them. Should be able to come in now. There you are. Hey, how's it going?
What's
there
up?
he is. All right,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, brother. I know you ain't got
Hey, what's
long.
up, Harvey?
Huh?
Yeah. How is everybody today?
I'm digging the mask, bro. It's a pretty sick mask you got there. All right,
Check me out. Hold on.
Yeah. So, Colton, I've got a couple questions to ask you today on behalf of Anonymous. All right? Now, I'm starting out today. I'm starting out with what are your views on Operation Safe Winter? Are there better approaches that we can address the homeless on the streets in our communities?
Well, sure, man. I mean, Operation Safe Winter, I think entitles the fact that, looking out for our fellow brothers and sisters who, are less fortunate. I do happen to have a place that's warm to lay my head at night, so I'm thankful for that. For those who are not as fortunate as myself, I like to go out, make up care packages for males and females, distribute them to, say, homeless, random. Unfortunately, the area I live in, it's becoming a common occurrence that where, say, you're feeding a homeless person without a vendor's license. I mean, you can get fined, ticketed, possibly thrown in jail. I think that's a pretty big issue that I would like to address. How come I can't feed my fellow brother and sister without being fined?
Yeah, man, that's really fucked up. It seems like the system's trying to weed off the homeless. They would rather the homeless die than the communities help them. It's kind of fucked.
Agreed. Yeah, that's agreeable, man. But yeah, Operation Safe Winter, I think, has always been a good thing. I've tried to support it as much as possible. I actually am one of the few people that probably like to see winter come around. I enjoy the snow personally.
Right. So that pretty much sums up your views on Operation Safe Winter. Due to the time spectrum that we have here, I want to talk about the next operation that Anonymous has been focusing on for lots of years. I want to talk about Operation Jade Helm. What are your views on Operation Jade Helm currently as we speak?
What was that? It was a little glitchy.
Operation Jade Helm. What are your views on it?
Honestly, I don't partake in it. I'm not fully aware of what that one is, to be honest with you.
Operation Jade Ham, it's
um,
all a big matter. Clusterfuck of the governmental corruption, clusterfuck of the issues that's going on, the people are blinded to. Operation Jade Ham, it's been an ongoing thing for lots of years,
sure.
Basically,
Okay,
Area
maybe
51,
I was
fucking,
just, sure,
right.
basically
My
everything being
question,
kept, secretly.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
With that
so,
being
uh, go ahead.
right, so my question it's this. There's so much shit that's going on right now in the world that we live in, okay? Your tax money's being taken out of your check and it's going to these private operations that you can't know about, and they'll give you your money back at the end of the year, but see, you got to think. If you're homeless, you ain't really got an address to send the shit to. You ain't got an address for your money to come back to. You ain't got some of the
Right.
assets that normal people have. But the government is ripping people off. If you work a job, they're taking your money. That's money to feed your children. That's money to keep food in your mouth, a roof over your head. Wouldn't you agree? It's a little fucked up.
Yeah, I agree fully with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I've been talking to Anons and stuff about HARP, and do they
Sure.
believe that HARP has, they have this weather radar weapon, the SBX-1, that can, it can control, weather patterns. It can do things. It can put shit into the air. It's miraculous what that device can do. Our money is funding HARP to be
Sure.
secretive. They're not trying to tell nobody about these operations.
Right. Sure. Another big thing that I like to discuss is CERN. CERN is just fucking mind blowing, to be honest with you, man. I mean, the compound itself is like 16.8 miles around in circumference. I mean, they're down there fucking smashing particles together at the speed of fucking. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine. But I mean, they're down there causing so much fucking chaos underground, and I mean, they're portraying that everything is for the good of mankind. And I mean, I believe that they're down there fucking with things that they necessarily shouldn't be. I get it. They're trying to tell the public, oh, we're down there looking for the glue that holds the earth together. I mean, when you start looking at their website, start looking at some of their opening day rituals that they perform. I mean, their fucking mascot, for heaven's sakes, is fucking Shiva, the Destroyer, and it's right out front their facility. Um, Nothing that goes on in that compound is good. There's not going to be too many people tell me otherwise because I've seen. But I don't know, man. There's definitely a whole lot of secrets that need to be exposed. We the people have the right to know what's going on. You know, for the government to hold all this a secret is it's a dick move. In bird culture, that is known as a dick move. But
Most definitely. Now, I've got a
I
question to
don't know,
ask
man.
you, Colton. And this question's it's a little bit it seems a little bit more irrelevant, but I swear to you that there's a meaning behind the question I'm about to ask you. Okay, see the White House. See, it's GMO free. But if you ask any Scientologist, if you ask anybody, they will tell you GMOs are good for you. GMOs are good for you. Why are we, eating a whole bunch of foods with GMOs and stuff, and them in the White House is GMO free? Does that seem a little fishy to you at all?
Yeah, 100% fishy. I mean, I'm a firm believer in, I mean, if we got to, let's go ahead and force feed them some of the things that they're forcing us to fucking eat. I mean, I'm a firm believer if anybody can, please learn how to grow your own crops. Be fully self sustaining. You know, that's the ultimate goal here. I mean, because then you can start to understand what's going into your food. I mean, it's safe. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, you can. There's nothing better than growing your own medicine. Uh, well, the fucking. I sit back and I enjoy the perks of this life. Why? Because I don't ask the government to hold my hand. Uh, and I ultimately just try to do good in this world. If it takes my last dollar and I'm able to give it to that person, I'm going to. Because why? Because I give with a free heart. You know, uh, our fucking society is offended by the truth these days, and that's sad and sickening at the same time. You know,
Right. Do you believe that the United States of America in the nearby future will be experiencing a deficit, a depression? They will be seeing the government trying even harder to depopulate. And do you also believe that we sometime in the near future will be looking at martial law for the United States of America in the nearby future?
it's a very good possibility. With the way the world's headed, I mean, the signs are all around. I was just watching a documentary on George Orwell, his 1984, and I mean that book's honestly, it's a pretty deep book. And I sent a link out to Facebook today. Some of his final words. I mean, they're absolutely bone chilling. I mean, he even says it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't know, man. There's just so much going on. The signs are all around us. If people can't wake up and see that something is wrong, I mean, I don't know, man. It's sad. Most people just they think that this is the best that it'll get, and it's definitely not. This isn't how it was intended. I mean, I know that there was something. Fucking greed is where it all stems. You know, fucking
Right,
greed.
right. Now, do you believe that also sometime in the nearby future that a one world currency could still exist and the possibilities for the future of the world in general? Like the whole world just goes to euros and we go to Bitcoin, RFID chips. What are your views on RFID chips? Are they dangerous? Should any individual take these RFID chips that the government puts in you?
So I've been doing some research on what they call biohacking. These are people who have uh, programmer skills, a little bit deeper background than that, but they are running experiments on themselves, implanting themselves with RFID chips, and ultimately I mean, hacking into, say, like I don't know, Samsung Galaxy puts out phones. We all know this. Okay. They have a deadbolt now that can read your RFID chip that is implanted, locking and unlocking your doors. That happened with a guy who was a biohacker. Um, he started fucking doing shit on himself, running tests on himself, and it all started with a RFID chip implant that was currently being used for animals. And of course, he judges and says that you can't be tracked by these unless you're at a very close proximity, which makes sense, I guess, because if you take your animal to a veterinarian, they scan the little wand and its radius. But at the same time, I mean, there's people out there that I believe are working on going towards, uh, the chip that's in your.
Right, right. With that being said, would you? Okay. Now this is a really astounding solution. You gotta think about the general concepts. would you believe that the United States of America, the White House, the congressmen, the political analysis that are ramming their head up each other's asses, do you believe that these individuals are responsible for a lot of the deficits that's going on in the country, a lot of the problems, but do you also believe that these individuals as a whole play an effect in the scandals? Do you believe that they are puppets that are being played with to create a distraction for the world in general, to create a distraction to the American people so that way martial law could somewhat come into effect?
Well, sure. I mean, I mean, that's the way it was intended. I mean, they've all got to have puppets and scapegoats to pin their blame on. Uh, it's all part of this bigger scheme that I believe that we're programmed from cradle to the grave to never figure out. But I mean, for those of us who are consciously awake, I mean, we see right through that, and that's where we come into play. We as humans, we have to get this word out there. We have to share our knowledge with the general public because, well, I mean, somebody's got to do it. Our fucking government that we're supposed to be able to trust, they're not doing it.
Most definitely, brother. Most definitely. Well, all right. I know you got a time wrapped up. Do you still have time to sit here with us, or do you got to be going here soon?
Man, I got about 10 more minutes or so. We could chat.
All right. Well, we'll
Shoot.
talk about maybe two more
This
topics,
is
and
my
we'll go
first.
ahead and we'll leave the basis. Okay. So the next topic that I'd like to ask you
Yeah, that sounds
about
good to me, man.
is you have all these religions that are playing a role. All these religions that are predicting these RFID chips and everything, aka the mark of the beast. You have all these people that are freaking out about the Antichrist. You have all these Christian and believers, all these Buddha believers, all these, Allah, Toran, whatever you have it, that talk about these religious preferences. Do you believe that, because it was something that's weird about the prophecy is it shows on the RFID chips it's operating at a 0.666 frequency, 1.666 frequency. I do recall looking at the frequencies that they are made in Novi, Michigan. RFID chip implants, aka mark of the beast. They can be put into the arm, wrist, forehead, whatever you have it. I've seen several different kinds of the chips. I've seen a grain of rice chip. I've also seen a little square-like chip device that can be inserted right here in the wrist area. What do you have to say about the tribulation and what these religions are saying about the end of world prophecy and doomsday? Do you see that in our near future?
Uh, well, that's usually a subject I usually don't cut on. That's for, personal beliefs only. But my personal beliefs are this. Being the fact that I'm a Virgo of the Virgo zodiac, I'm one with nature. And I can't help but say this, that as I look around at everything around me, I feel that something is off. I can't necessarily I don't know what it is, but I do know that in the Bible, it does, however, describe a certain alignment in the sky with the stars. And that was supposed to happen that September 23rd, just last month. So I don't necessarily know what I believe with the whole religion. Something out there is definitely a little bit bigger than myself. Something out there, most certainly, has the capabilities to, I don't know. I don't know, but I know that something is not right with the world today. I can look
Right.
around, I mean, and
Before time wraps up, I have one more question to ask you. What do we the United States is sitting here talking about Okay, well, the harp, they're okay. The harp is done. The harp, we cut the funding for a harp, and yada yada yada. Harp's no longer a thing. NASA is no longer a thing. But why is NASA still coming on news stations? Why are anchors from NASA? Why is harp individuals still coming on these news stations, talking about Nibiru, talking about how this can't happen, this ain't gonna happen? But we know by scientific facts that Nibiru is somewhat real. Why do you think they're trying to hide this so much?
Right. Well, I mean, well, as you study on Nibiru, uh, they say that it is a destroyer planet. Only comes back around every, what is it, 3,600 years or so?
The Bible
Or,
mentions the Bible
I don't
mentions
know,
something
maybe.
about a the Bible mentions something about a asteroid called wormwood that knocks out a third of the Earth's water
Hmm.
supply. Are you familiar with this reference? Do you think if the Bible could possibly be true, that this Nibiru could be a breaking off of wormwood, possibly? If the Bible it does excel?
I guess anything, I guess anything is possible, I mean, I don't necessarily have an answer for that. Um, all I know is I think that the reason that they would be covering it up is because, like you said, I mean, when we do without water, I mean, that's pretty much a destruction. So therefore, being the destroyer planet, they're trying to make people just go ahead and turn the eye to it. You know, like everything's gonna be a fucking K, and it's not.
Do you
Once
believe
again,
that the
just to keep the
government
masses asleep.
Right. Do you believe that the government is creating natural disasters all across all 52 states in the United States of America? They're creating these disasters for people just to get FEMA involved, just to gain control of its citizens. That they are personally making these happen just to gain control. Do you believe that this is a possibility for the government to be trying to create some kind of power control, trying to gain control, trying to individualize and spread people out so that way they can better keep track of them?
Indeed, brother, I do, man. It's all part of the divide and conquer tactic. I mean, they separate us. I mean, look at all the other things that they're trying to separate us with the racism, the fucking religions. I mean, that's all part of the divide and conquer. Once they can separate us into groups, I mean, I mean, there's supposed to be like three groups that they're trying to separate us into. People who are not fucking having it, me and you, people who are just complacent, lie down and take it, and people who need to be re-educated back into society. So, I mean, I believe very good possibility that they are doing this. Um, it's very sad though because I mean, once again, this is something that we were supposed to be able to rely on, but at the same time, that's not the case. I've I've been doing this since about 2008, and I don't plan on going back to sleep anytime soon. You know, being on a government watch list is definitely not the funnest thing in the world. But
Right.
to all my fellow haters, I do what I do because I love humanity. I see many humans out there, but no humanity. There's so much into that statement. So that's where I come
Right.
into play, and I try to help. I try to help my fellow brothers and sisters out. And I definitely thank you for your time and allowing me to be on here. But like I said, duty calls.
Most definitely. Thank you for coming here with us today, Eric Fox. It is appreciated. God bless. This is Anonymous. We are Pirate Sec. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Don't expect us because we're already here. Revolution is coming. Expect us.
Love you, brother.